She cheated on me with 7 guys and tried to take half the house, but only got debts. More than 10 years ago, I started dating my ex. Back then, I didn't know it yet, but she turned out to be a typical narcissistic bitch. The characters, me, obviously. Karen, the ex, also the witch with a superiority complex. We met through my brother's friend. I was 20 then. We were the same age, both from dysfunctional families. I was working seasonal jobs, fruit picking, warehouse sorting, and other hard work, but it paid well. There was work for about 45 weeks, a year, and she was looking for a job. We met, started dating. Things were going fine. A year later, we moved in together. Another 6 months later, she reluctantly got a job, but quit after a month when it turned out she was 2 months pregnant. That's when we took a mortgage, and I started working as a kitchen assistant. Shifts. For pennies, 6 days a week. I left at 7, say, and came back around 9:11 p.m., depending on the workload. I won't lie, it was hard. Our daughter was born. People told me she got pregnant to tie me down, but I brushed it off then. And that's when everything went downhill. I worked 40, 60 hours a week and came home to an angry girlfriend and a wrecked apartment. For the record, I don't believe in traditional gender roles. A man isn't obliged to work, a woman isn't obliged to clean. It should be a partnership, where both share duties. My usual week, I worked Tuesday to Sunday, and on Monday I scrubbed every dirty plate, cup, and pot. That was all the dishes we had. Her week, Tuesday, Thursday, TV, and online shopping. Friday, takeout because there were no clean dishes. Saturday and Sunday she spent at her sister's. She developed a whole complex. The world owes me everything. She took control of the finances. I wasn't allowed to spend anything at all. It got to the point where she screamed at me for buying gas to get to work. How much money she blew on crap? I still boil with anger. 5 years passed. Nothing changed. I worked on my days off, cleaned, and still had to explain why I needed money for work and fuel. One day at work, I got a text from her sister. "Call me as soon as possible." I went to my boss and said I needed to make an urgent call, went to the storage room. That was the call I'll never forget. "Hi, it's me, Karen's sister. I'm not sure if I should tell you this, but Karen is cheating on you. In short, 7 different guys over 3 years. And worse, she spent the money you earned on them. She took funds from our mortgage, even spent $800 on repairing one of their cars." I was furious. I confronted her, and she admitted to most of it once she realized everything came out through her family. I said I wanted to break up, changed the password to online banking, offered to leave her the house. She refused, saying she didn't want that worthless dump. We agreed on 50-50 custody. The next 6 months I spent working, cleaning up the mess from Karen's years of impulsive purchases and holding on for our 5-year-old daughter. Work supported me. They cut my hours and raised my pay so I wouldn't lose too much money. Karen started dating and even got engaged to one of the guys she cheated with. I think number 3. Meet Bob. Bob was twice her age, worked 8 hours a week, and wanted to work even less. She was still looking for a job. Of course, she needed money. Then she calls me, "I want my half of the house." By law, we had 2 years to divide the property, after which it fully went to one of the former spouses. So formally, she had that right. The conversation went like this. Karen: "I've been thinking. I want my half of the house." Me: Okay. I thought you said you didn't want it." Her: "I changed my mind. The house is worth $120,000 now. By law, I get half 60, but I'll be nice and settle for 20. I explained that yes, by law she gets half, but it's about equity, current value minus debt. The house was valued at $120,000 by local authorities, but we still owed $115,000 on the mortgage. It should have been less, but she kept withdrawing money. Plus, housing prices had dropped that year. So in fact, there was nothing to divide. Only $5,000. I said, "I'm ready to give you this $5,000, remove your name from the mortgage, and pay the lawyer to get you off the ownership documents. In total, it would cost me $10,000. She'd get 5 in hand, more than if we sold the house right then. She replied, "You owe me more than $5,000. My offer is $30,000 by next week, or we sell the house." And here begins my malicious compliance. I calmly said, "Okay," and hung up, letting her think she'd won. She even confirmed the same nonsense in a text. I scheduled a lawyer, ordered a letter, also met with 2 real estate agents. A week later, Karen came to my house. She had a key, and I handed her an envelope. Thinking it was a check, she snatched it, ripped it open, and found a letter from my lawyer, which said, "Summary. Karen, you yourself stated in your message, dated," screenshot attached, the following information. "My client, my name, will vacate the property by such and such date. All mortgage payments until now were made by my client. Since you did not use the property, we will not demand compensation for these payments. My client spent $7,000 on repairs, receipts attached. As you are co-owner, we demand $3,500 in compensation. My client paid $2,500 in utilities and taxes, receipts attached. We demand $750 in compensation. Additionally, from the date of moving out until the sale, you are obliged to pay half of the mortgage payments, taxes, utilities, and necessary expenses for preparation for sale." She realized what a mess she was in. Karen, fine, just give me $5,000. Me, no, you yourself said that if I don't give you $30,000 by today, we sell the house. Her, I was joking. Me, no, you weren't. Her, okay, $4,000. Me, no, $3,000 and I'll give you something. She winked at me, walking away. Nope, we're selling. She started yelling again. I can't afford this. You know I'm looking for a job and Bob barely works. We need money for the wedding. Me, not my problem. I also suggested she talk to real estate agents. They said if we wanted to sell with profit, we needed to invest another $2,000. Otherwise, we'd likely lose money. Both appraisers gave around $110,000. With her written promise to pay me back, I went ahead, spent $2,000, ordered a reappraisal, and we were told profit was possible. At her request, we used her lawyer for the deal. The sale took 9 weeks, and with paperwork 15 weeks. She owed me $8,000. After deducting all costs, fees, and mortgage repayment, we got a profit of $19,000. And in true Karen fashion, she of course decided that since the lawyer was hers, then all the money was automatically hers too. I informed the lawyer that she owed me $8,000, and the money should stay in trust until she agreed to pay. According to the settlement law, both parties had to agree how to divide the profit before the lawyer could distribute it. Karen was furious and threatened to sue her own lawyer. 3 months passed. The money was still with the lawyer. Then, Karen calls me. Listen, I know things are awkward between us, but I really need my half. Let's just split it and I'll pay you back $20 a week. Me. No, you'll get your money only after you pay me back. You can just deduct it from your share. Long pause, whispers heard, probably with Bob. Karen. If we agree to give you $7,000 from the total, will you consider the debt closed? That means I'll have $2,500 left. Me. I know, but I really need the money. Me. Okay, we'll put it in writing and it's a deal. Edit 1. About my daughter. We still have 50-50 custody. I try to support her relationship with her mother, show respect, remind her to call her mom. I don't badmouth Karen, even though I get nothing like that in return. I do it for the child. Edit 2. We did a DNA test. She really is my biological daughter. After 5 years of raising her, she's mine anyway. Edit 3. Thank you all for the kind words. My father went through something similar with my mother, but always stayed strong for us, his children. He asked us to call our mother, drove us 6 hours to see her every couple of months, and never said a bad word about her, even though she called him a horrible and disgusting man. When Karen and I split, he finally told me the truth, that they divorced because of her cheating. He never said it before so as not to ruin her reputation. On the contrary, he asked me not to tell my brothers and sisters. He said, "No matter who Karen is or what she did, she is the mother of your child." I was 25 then, and it hurt a lot. It explained a lot to me. Thank you for watching this video to the end. Watch our previous video, which you can see right here, and good luck to you.